Hi, I'm Kathy Damm. I'm making a video about our course, Lifespan Human Development, so that I can introduce you to what we're going to be doing and how we're going to run the course. First, let me just tell you that I've hidden 3 words in this video. Those 3 words will be on a syllabus quiz. You won't be allowed to access the first course material until you've passed that syllabus quiz, so this is my tricky little way of making sure that you watch this entire video and know exactly what you're getting into with this course. So look out for those words. Let me first now tell you about the design of the course. This course is broken up into 6 modules. The first module will be an introduction and also about how we do research in lifespan human development. This module is a little bit smaller than the other modules. Then we will learn about infancy. That will be our second module. Our third module will be childhood. I think I should throw in one of those secret words now. The secret word is pacifier. All right, so then our next module will be adolescence and young adulthood. Our fifth module will be middle and late adulthood. And then our last module, which is also another smaller one, is death and dying. And this is actually my area of research, so I'm quite interested in that module. So these are our 6 modules. The way we're going to run the course is we're going to be using a mastery model. That means that you will start with the first module, and you cannot move on to the second module until you've mastered the first module. That means on the resulting ultimate quiz for that module, you need to get a 99% or higher before you can move on to infancy. Sounds kind of scary, but you can take the quiz multiple times. You can have access to the material. It's open book. What I want to make sure that you do is that you've mastered that material before you move on to the second material. Then once you're in infancy, you've done all the exercises and listened to all of the podcasts I've made, you can try that quiz. Once you've passed that quiz with 99% or higher, you can move on to adolescence and young adulthood. You cannot move on to the next module until you've passed the one you're currently in with the 99% or higher. Those quiz scores won't end up being the basis for your grade. I know you probably wish they would, but your grade is going to be based on 3 things. You're going to have a daily blog about what you're learning. It's not too tough, I think. That's going to be worth 10% of your grade. We're going to have a writing assignment, and that's going to be worth 15% of your grade, and we'll have more about that later. And then the bulk of your grade, 75% of your grade, will be based on a cumulative final exam. This is going to prove the mastery model. If you have truly mastered the material with 99% or higher for all of the 6 modules, then that final cumulative exam should be pretty straightforward. If you've kind of fudged it and not really mastered it but found a way to trick the system, it's going to show up in that final exam. So that's the way we're running this course. So that's something you might want to think about when you're delving into this Psych 201 course. I think this would be a good time now for me to give you a second secret word, and that word is longevity. All right, so we have these 6 modules. We're going to master each one before we move on to the next one, and then ultimately we're going to have this large cumulative exam that will be the bulk of our grade. You get 25% made up elsewhere, but 75% of your grade is going to be based on this large cumulative exam. I should mention this cumulative exam is open book. It's time limited, so this doesn't make it really easy, but it's open book and open resource. And what you'll find is the tools I've provided you are very interactive. You can click on different things during the quiz to see if you can get help. That will make it much easier to do this final exam, but it is a bulk of your grade. So the last thing I want to talk about is why are we using a different link to the course. So you may have noticed we're going to use coursesites.com instead of our typical web campus. And this is because the interactive tools that I have built with McGraw-Hill are not compatible with the current version of web campus that we use. And I really like these interactive tools because in the process of taking a quiz, if you don't think you've got the right answer, you can check yourself. You can only check yourself once per question, but at least you can check and it can say, before you submit, you might want to rethink your answer. You can click on buttons to get different resources. You can re-listen to my podcast. I think the best tool is it'll tell you which page in your book the answer is, and then you can click on a link, and if you've purchased the ebook page will pop up during your quiz. It couldn't be any more open book. So this interactive nature of this mastery model is really what I'm going for, and I just can't do that in Web Campus. And so I am going to use course sites. Essentially what it's doing is allowing me to have a single login system where you go to course sites, you have all of your material there, you log in once, and you have these interactive tools. That's where we will kind of be running the course, is through course sites. Hey, time for a third word. How's that? Hey, time for a third word. Our third word is going to be avocado. All right. So now that we've got our material running in course sites, what we're going to do is, because your grade is going to be based on those three things, we won't be putting grades up constantly, because your quiz scores are really not going towards your grade. They're just going to whether you can have access to the next module. So ultimately, your final grades will be at the very last thing that you see when you're done with all of the modules. And I will probably put those in course sites or in Web Campus, so that you have that place that you know how to find your scores. But course sites is really just going to be about delivering the material. So the last thing I wanted to say was that the McGraw-Hill ebook is very useful for this course, and the interactive site came with the ebook, but it also can be purchased separately if you bought the hardbound copy of the book. I would like you to know that there is a 3-week trial period to use the Connect system that we'll be using with McGraw. So if you're playing your cards right and you want to get this 4-week course done in 3 weeks, you may not have to pay for the Connect fee, which might be something you want to try. Now, I'm not saying you have to finish the course in 3 weeks. I'm, being paid for the 4-week period, but that if finances is an issue and you want to try it this way, you're more than welcome to try to finish it in 3 weeks. That's one of the nice things about this model. It's a mastery model. So I'm not going to tell you need to do 2 modules a week, which is kind of what it would be, right? 4 weeks, 6 modules. But what you instead might do is just master the modules as fast as you can, or as comfortable as you are doing, and that may be in 3 weeks. Hopefully you'll finish it in 3.5, so that you're not coming to the wire at the end of the 4th week, but it will be managed by you. Your mastery of the material will be managed by you. That's the idea and the design behind this course. I will be sending more videos as I want to clarify different things, but make sure that you send any questions my way so that you're clear on what we're doing. All right, thanks. I'll see you online.